Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new product review, and now we are going to make a look to the Genestealer Cult Codex. I let you know that the Genestealer Cult Codex is coming with this. Okay, it's the only codex that have this thing. These are special for the Genestealer Cult, and is the ruler of with 9 inches, because you will see that they have a lot of teleportation or deep strike deployment, and then they have the beeps. That is a special rule that the Genestealer Cult is having. So these are important for the game, okay, to play with this Genestealer Cult, and they are unique from this codex. So who are the Genestealer Cult? The Genestealer Cult is like humans mutated by the Tyranids. It's a way that the Tyranids infiltrate into the humanity, and yeah, what they do is they infect the genetics of the humans, creating mutants. Okay, and these mutants will work work under the shade. They will work for the Tyranids. Okay, so what they do is they try to take control of the planet until the Tyranids arrive, when they will give their life to the Tyranids. They have like a type of psychic control. Okay, they have a psychic, a mental control, that they see the Tyranids like gods, that they will come to save them from the tyranny of the Imperium. So it's quite interesting concept. So here we are going to make a look now to what is about the Tyranids cults. This is not the biggest book, but it has been growing and growing. It's 112 pages. It's a book that is a faction that has been growing and growing the last years. Again, it's a very old faction, okay? Although they have codex, they have, I think, the first codex in the 7th edition. This faction was existing from the Rock Trader times. So it was one of the first things that appeared in Warhammer 40,000. The Genestealer Cult was in the background and the fluff since the beginning of Warhammer 40,000 almost. Okay, so here the content of this book is going to have 1/3 of Genestealer Cult's background. Okay, then we are going to have some pages of showcase, so we can see how the miniatures are painted. We will have some paint splatter, very little one, just some guidance, and they show you how to paint some of the things. And then we are going to have all the rules and the data sheets and everything that you need to play match play, crusade, and even open game, right? So you have all the rules you need to play a Genestealer Cult. Of course, there is always these campaign books that they can release additional rules from time to time. Okay, these are not going to be here. So this is mainly the codex, but with this codex you can play Genestealer Cult without any problem. You will have all the units. You will have all the rules except some very specific that can appear in White Dwarf or in other supplements, campaign supplements. So let's start with the part of the background. So we are going to see here, that they have they talk about how they infiltrate in the humanity. I read the previous edition. I want to read this one because it's quite interesting how they infiltrate. They adapt they adapt the genetics depending on the type of planets they are trying to conquest. So some you will see that there are different cults, and the cults will adapt depending on what are the needs for the cult okay, depending if they're in a forge world, they will have different adaptations than if they have in a hive planet. So it's quite interesting. They will have a lot of agents. Okay, because remember, they don't have big, super strong heroes, right? They have more agents, assassins working in the shadows, in the they try to because the main thing of the Genestealer Cult is they try to take control over the governing power of over the Imperium on this planet, right? And as they start with not enough strength to take it by the force, what they do is they infiltrate in the different layers of the society until they gain enough strength to do a rebellion and have control of the planet. Normally they have to calculate this very well, because if they are in a place that have a lot of control from the Imperium, most likely the Imperium will come back and or call exterminators or just kill them all, right? So, but here you see how the Genestealer Cult, and then when they get big enough and they get strong enough, then they can even be a threat for the Space Marines. But you can see here we have artwork. This is very old artwork from the beginning of the game, right? So this is really old. And then we have then the different cults. They will explain you the different cults that we have, and you can see each cult will have like a special adaptations, special rules later on. And then we have even smaller cults. So they are not exactly the same, although all of them follow the same purpose: prepare the planet for the arrival of the Hive Fleet. Okay, and here we see some of the characters. Okay, the Patriarch is the main character of the Genestealer Cult. Okay, he's going to be the how it's called is the religious leader in a way, right? It's like a religion. He's going to be the Psyker leader. Magus is going to be like a priest for them, and also can be very influential. Some Magus can hide their mutation and be very influential in the society. So we have here, you can have different type of these are agents that can infiltrate quite easily. Of course, this guy cannot infiltrate anymore because he's, and then they have as well problems. Sometimes the mutations does not go as they expected, and they have the aberrants. But you can see this is all the background. So how the Genestealer Cult evolves. And then they have, you can see they will not have super heavy vehicles because normally they have industrial vehicles, unless, and there is a point when the Genestealer Cult start having control of the planetary defense forces, right? This is why we can have at the end Lemon Russes and some tanks, because these are the planetary forces that are now controlled by the Genestealer Cult. So you can imagine, you can have different levels of Genestealer Cults, right? Very low level where they are almost gang bands, right, in Necromunda. So that is why they also exist in Necromunda. And then as they start growing, they can even form an armored army. So here you can see some more pictures. Of course, they will have a lot of light vehicles. And then we go to the rules, okay? This codex does not have any painting guides, so it's a little bit, it's a pity. Normally some codexes used to have painting guides, sorry for that. So it's a pity we only have here. But if you need painting guides, you can go online, and I think there is a lot of good painting guides over there. And if you will need something, I always do as well in my channel. I have done some painting guides about painting Genestealer Cult. So the rules, we're going to have the same as we have seen in all the codexes. We are going to have the Battleforge rules, the army rules, the match play rules, the crusade rules that are the narrative ones, and then we will have the datasheets and the war gear and points. Points, again, the points here you have to be careful because you have always to look the last chapter approved that was released this past Saturday was released. So the points here, if there is a conflict with the chapter approved, the chapter approved is more updated than this one. Okay, so but you can see we will have some detachment abilities. I will not go in that. So and here is where they will explain why you need the beeps. Okay, because it's part of the abilities of the Genestealer Cult. Okay, so this is going to be explained somewhere here. And as well with all the different rules that you need to play to a detachment of Genestealer Cult. If you want to have all these benefits, you have to follow the rules of Okay, so if you want a Genestealer Cult detachment, it only includes models from the Genestealer Cult keyword. Okay, Genestealer Cult detachment gain the Gen Sect. Genestealer Cults units in Genestealer Cult detachments gain the Cult Crit ability, and also again the detachment gain objective secure. Okay, so the so you can have here the troops. Okay, again there's as all the other detachments. So not something that is strange. Each faction have their own detachment rules. Okay. Here we see the different cults, and here they will explain you for the different cults what is the stratagem they have, what is the special abilities they have, what are the relics and the psychic powers they may have. Okay, and each cult will be linked to their own fluff. So this is quite interesting. I really like a lot the idea of the cults. And then you have the myriad of cults. So if you don't want to take any of these cults here, but you can create your own cult. You have 4 points that you can spend here. Okay. Of course, if you take this one, this one means that you are taking one of the. Is telling you that you take one of these cults. Okay. But then you can take, depending how strong is the power, will cost you more or less points. So this is quite. Yeah. Here are some points, and you can spend 4. Okay. And then you have the stratagems as any other codex. Okay, then you have as well special abilities for the characters. Okay, so you can have here some special abilities that you can give to some characters, and here they will explain you, very similar to what we have seen in other codexes. We have the warlord traits, and then we have their own psychic discipline, psychic abilities. They have also their own relics. I will not go in details. And then you have the chapter approved rules, means that you have here all the secondary objective specific for the Genestealer Cult. Again, this is quite an old drawing, if I'm not wrong. I think this is maybe 2nd edition. Well, at least looks like some of the 2nd edition rules. Drawings. You can see that they were a little bit different, the imagining. Then we have all the Crusade rules. Okay, this is all what you need to play narrative games. And also to play Crusade. So Crusade is very interesting. I highly recommend it. For Crusade, you have the generic agendas, the generic relics, Crusade relics, but here you will have the specific rules for the Genestealer Cult. So you will have the specific agendas, requisitions, and relics, battle traits, and battle scars. Okay, and then you have all the codexes in 9th edition. They have their own special thing that you win by playing games. Okay, so these are on top of the experience, and I have to say they are quite well designed. This part is quite well designed for all the factions, because it enhances, it really adds on how the faction should work. Okay, so it's quite interesting, this part. I like a lot the one I'm using for the Drukari, and I also like the one for Dark Angels and the other ones I have seen. Okay. Here is where they explain you how to use these counters. Okay, so this, if you have a Battle Forge army, you will have again these abilities on top of the detachment abilities. So here you have all the rules that how this works. Okay, because they have a special ambush deployment with these ambush markers that you can use, and yeah, and as I said. Here you have all the rules, and then we have the data sheets, and then we have well who is the Patriarch, the Primus, the Magus. These are the very traditional ones. Okay, the Acolyte, Icon Ward, and the Jackal of Alphus. Nothing new here. Then we have the troops. We have normally we have I think 2 troops: the Acolyte hybrids and the Neophyte hybrids. Then we have the Pure Strain Genestealers. These are elite. Okay. These are Genestealers with 1 wound. Yeah, they were saying rumors that they will be stronger, but I don't think they are stronger. And then they have 4+ invulnerable save. The Metamorphs. Okay, so these are stronger hybrids or mutants. The Aberrants. These are the ones that. Then we have the Abominant. The Abominant have moved now to elite. And then we have a lot of characters here. We have the Nexus, the Clamabus, the Locus, the Kelemorph, and I think there are rules so in order that you can put more characters than slots you have. Okay, the Sanctus and the Redactus Saboteur. That I think is the new one. If I'm not wrong, this is the new one released now. The Biophagus, the Atalan Jackals. These are the bikes, and we should have. Maybe I overlook it because there is a character that goes on a bike. I overlooked this one. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so on fast attack we have the Achilles and right gunners. Okay, that are gunners because here is not Yeah, it's curious, this one. I need to look for that later on. Then we have as a heavy support the Goliath rock grinder. It's supposed to be like a mining vehicle. And then we have the Goliath truck, that is the version, okay? And then we have all the weapon profiles. I think you can include, I need to check, there were rules in the past to include Astra Militarum. I don't know if these rules are still there. So we have here the Brute Brothers rule. Okay, when you mustering a Battleforged army, for each Genestealer Cult detachment you include in your army, you can also include one Astra Militarum detachment. So it's the same, okay? And this is representing how the planetary defenses are joining the Genestealer Cult. You can only include units from the regiment unaligned keyword. Okay, when you include Astra Militarum units in Brute Brothers detachment, replace Imperium regiment and then you put the Brute Brothers. Okay, so it's telling you, so here is loyalty to good, add 2 to the leadership characteristic of the models in a unit of this regiment doctrine, and the infantry units in this regimental doctrine gain the unquestioning loyalty ability, page 88. Okay, then we're going to check here page 88 and so on. Okay, so these are all the rules you need to play these guys. And this normal structure. Then of course I missed that, but you have all the weapon profiles here. I will not go in detail. And then you have the glossary and the point values. As I say, the point values, they get outdated very fast. Remember, every 6 months they will review that. So this is what you have in Genestealer Cult. So this is very interesting. For me, it's a very interesting faction. I played a couple of times and I always enjoyed a lot. So yeah, I'm thinking if I will in the future do a crusade army with the Genestealer Cult, because I really like how they work. So that's all for now. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please let me know what do you think about this codex, and as usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.